holidays are here, and if you've got a gamer on your list who's still stuck with outdated tech, or worse, someone who never gets control of the TV, it's time to change that. Handheld consoles have absolutely exploded in quality, and whether they're traveling for the holidays, gaming in their room, or need something portable for long car rides, there's never been a better gift. Where we've researched the best handheld consoles to help you find the perfect holiday gift. From streaming capabilities to playing the latest releases on the go, we've got 5 incredible options that'll make you the hero of gift-giving season. And here's the deal. All product links are in the description with the best prices we could find, so you can check availability and grab one before the holiday rush cleans them out. Let's start with the ASUS ROG Ally. If you're shopping for someone who takes their PC gaming seriously and wants that full desktop experience on the go, this is the gift that'll blow their mind. Think of it as a full Windows gaming PC that fits in their hands. This thing packs an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor with RDNA 3 graphics, which means it's bringing serious horsepower to the portable gaming space. The 7-inch Full HD touchscreen features a variable refresh rate that goes all the way up to 120 Hz. So whether they're into fast-paced shooters or exploring massive open worlds, everything looks sharp and runs incredibly smooth. Here's what makes this special. Because it runs Windows 11, they get access to their entire Steam library, Epic Games Store, Xbox Game Pass, and basically any PC game storefront they already use. No compromises, no restrictions. If it runs on PC, it runs here. The ROG Ally uses Armory Crate software to manage performance, letting them switch between silent, performance, and turbo modes depending on their situation. Battery life hovers around 4 to 6 hours depending on the game, but when they need that raw power in a portable package, this delivers without hesitation. The ergonomics are thoughtfully designed too. The controls mirror an Xbox controller layout, so jumping into games feels immediately natural. There are even customizable back buttons for mapping their favorite actions exactly how they want them. Now, one thing to mention, since this runs Windows, they'll occasionally deal with updates and system maintenance, which can feel a bit clunky on a handheld device. But for the PC gamer who wants zero limitations on what they can play portably, the ROG Ally is tough to beat. It's the gift that says, your entire game library just became portable. And for someone deep into PC gaming, that's a game changer. Up next is the PlayStation Portal. And if you're shopping for someone who already owns a PS5, this could be the perfect companion gift. Let's be clear right away. This isn't a standalone console. It's a remote player that streams games from their PS5 over Wi-Fi, which means they'll need a PS5 at home and a decent internet connection. But here's why this makes such a thoughtful gift. You're giving them the freedom to keep playing their favorite games, even when someone else claims the TV for holiday movie marathons or family gatherings. They can settle into their room or any other spot in the house and keep their gaming session going without interrupting anyone else's plans. The 8-inch 1080p LCD screen delivers smooth 60 frames per second gameplay that looks and feels just like playing on the TV. Sony basically split a DualSense controller in half around that beautiful display so they get all the features that make PS5 gaming special. Haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, everything. Setup couldn't be simpler. They pair it with their PS5 once, and they're basically done. It supports most PS5 and PS4 games installed on their console, and the experience is surprisingly responsive. They'll need at least a 5 megabit per second connection, though 15 megabit per second is recommended for optimal performance. There are some limitations worth knowing. Games requiring VR headsets or certain peripherals won't work, and they need to stay on the same Wi-Fi network as their PS5. So this isn't for coffee shop gaming, it's designed for freedom within the home. For the PS5 owner on your list who could use more gaming flexibility, especially during the holiday season when TV competition is at its peak, this gift solves that frustration beautifully. It's practical, thoughtful, and shows you understand their gaming needs. Now let's talk about what many consider the absolute best in handheld gaming, the Steam Deck OLED. This is the gift for someone who wants premium quality across the board, from the screen to the battery life to the game library. That display is immediately stunning. The 7.4-inch OLED screen delivers deep blacks, vibrant colors, and a 90 Hz refresh rate that makes everything feel buttery smooth. HDR support means games look better than ever, and the increased brightness makes it perfectly usable even in bright holiday gatherings or while traveling during the day. Once they experience gaming on OLED, LCD screens will never feel quite the same. But Valve didn't stop at the screen. They upgraded the battery to 50 watt-hours, translating to anywhere from 8 to 12 hours of gameplay depending on what they're playing. That's genuinely impressive. They can game through an entire flight without hunting for outlets or bringing backup batteries. The Steam Deck runs SteamOS, built on Linux, and Valve has done an incredible job making it feel as intuitive as a console. They can jump into their library and start playing within seconds. The interface is clean, responsive, and designed specifically for handheld gaming. And if they want to get technical, they can even install Windows and turn it into a full PC, though SteamOS works so well that most people never bother. Storage starts at 512 GB for the OLED model, giving them plenty of room for their favorite games, with easy expansion through microSD cards. Wi-Fi 6E support means faster downloads and rock-solid streaming performance when they need it. The build quality feels genuinely premium, solid without being too heavy, and the controls stay comfortable even during marathon gaming sessions. The trackpads are still there too, making PC-style menus way easier to navigate than you'd expect on a handheld. This is the gift that nails every single aspect: performance, battery life, screen quality, and access to an enormous game library. For someone who appreciates quality and wants the absolute best handheld experience available right now, the Steam Deck OLED is worth every penny. Before we jump to the last two consoles, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button if you're finding this helpful for your holiday shopping. All these product links with current availability are sitting right there in the description, ready whenever you need them. Moving on to something completely different, the Retroid Pocket 5. If you're shopping for someone who grew up with classic Nintendo, PlayStation, and Sega games, this gift is going to hit them right in the nostalgia. This is an Android-based handheld powered by a Snapdragon 865 processor with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. Those specs might not sound cutting-edge compared to the other options we've covered. But here's the thing. It's perfectly engineered for emulation and retro gaming, and it does that job beautifully. The 5.5-inch AMOLED screen is gorgeous. Full 1080p resolution with rich colors and perfect blacks, all in a compact package that actually fits in a pocket. The display is noticeably smaller than others on this list, but for classic games designed around 4:3 aspect ratios, it's absolutely ideal. Those black bars just disappear into the OLED panel. What can they play? Everything from 8-bit and 16-bit classics, plus PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, GameCube, and even some Nintendo Switch titles run surprisingly well. It comes with Android 13, so they can install emulators from the Play Store, and the Retroid community has built amazing front ends like Daigisho to organize their entire collection. Battery life is solid, around 6 to 8 hours depending on what they're running, and the 5,000 mAh battery charges quickly via USB-C. The controls feel great for a device this size, with Hall-effect analog sticks that won't develop drift issues, responsive buttons, and even customizable RGB lighting around the sticks. Now, this isn't for playing the latest AAA releases. It's built specifically for nostalgia and classic gaming. But if the person on your list has been talking about wanting to replay Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Trigger, or any of those legendary titles they loved growing up, this gift delivers that experience with style and comfort. It's thoughtful, personal, and shows you paid attention to their gaming history. Finally, let's talk about the hottest console of the holiday season, the Nintendo Switch 2. If you're shopping for literally anyone who enjoys gaming, from kids to adults, this is the gift that's breaking sales records for a reason. Nintendo took everything that worked about the original Switch and upgraded it across the board. The 7.9-inch LCD screen now hits 1080p resolution with a 120 Hz refresh rate in handheld mode, making games look crisp and responsive. When docked, it outputs games in 4K at 60 frames per second, a massive visual upgrade from the original. The Joy-Con 2 controllers attach magnetically instead of sliding on rails, which feels incredibly satisfying and secure. They also include mouse functionality, opening up interesting possibilities for games that benefit from precise aiming or menu navigation. Here's something huge: backwards compatibility. Most original Switch games work on the Switch too, and some even get free performance boosts with better frame rates and visuals. So if they already have a Switch library, those games carry forward beautifully. Nintendo's first-party lineup is already stellar, with Mario Kart World and games like Donkey Kong Bonanza. And of course, upcoming Pokémon Pokopia, Zelda, and Metroid games will only be playable here, making this console essential for Nintendo fans. The console supports game chat for voice and video communication with friends. Battery life runs between 2 and 6.5 hours depending on the game, and it charges via USB-C from either of two ports, one on top, one on bottom for flexibility. Storage sits at a generous 256 gigabytes with room for expansion through microSD express cards. Wi-Fi 6 keeps downloads fast and connections stable. The entire experience feels polished, refined, and ready for years of gaming. This is the gift that works for everyone: kids, teens, adults, families. It's the newest entry in Nintendo's legendary lineup, backwards compatible with their existing games and promising incredible exclusives they can't play anywhere else. If you're buying one console as a gift this holiday season, this is the one that's going to see the most use and bring the biggest smiles. All right, that's our complete lineup of the best handheld consoles for holiday gift giving. Whether you're shopping for the PC enthusiast, the PlayStation fan, the Steam devotee, the retro gamer, or the Nintendo lover, there's a perfect match here. If this helped with your holiday shopping, go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help the channel grow. Subscribe so you never miss our latest reviews and gift guides. All the product links with up-to-date availability are down in the description. Thanks for watching, happy holidays, and happy gifting. We'll see you in the next one.